Hey everybody, we're talking celebrities rally against Donald Trump and a woman beats her daughter on Facebook Live. All that and more on Black Hollywood Lives this week.
You are tuned in to Black Hollywood Live this week.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, Courtney. Eagle it. Eagle it on the
Courtney
table.
today.
Wait, do I have to actually remember songs? I actually know the lyrics, but I won't do that.
Go for it.
I wish you knew the lyrics.
Caesar's part.
Right, this is Caesar's part. And I would rap it, but I don't remember all the lyrics. But what's up? Welcome to Black Hollywood Live this week. We are in the house today with a little Kim-ish Courtney Stewart.
Hey y'all, I was wig shopping, couldn't comb my hair, so I had to keep the wig on.
I'm feeling it though. It's like a little naughty little thing you got going on today, Courtney. I'm just saying.
Now we know what Daryl. I was thinking Katy Perry, but you was like.
Well, you could be whatever. You could be Black Katy Perry, whatever you want to do. All right. Jesse.
Hey.
And Rachel.
Hi. I think Courtney's rocking like a storm meets.
You could be a storm.
She looks like a superhero.
You're a storm in the bedroom.
Whatever you want to be.
She's a storm in the bedroom. That's what she is. A storm in the bedroom.
He doesn't actually know that, y'all. He's just putting it out there.
I do not know that as a fact.
He has a woman.
Because
it's not me.
Because your mom might be listening,
You
right?
know.
Daryl's
His
one
woman
of
might
it.
be listening. My mom would be like,
too.
oh my God.
Little Kim may be
you're
listening.
straight?
I don't know.
Oh my God, I know. It's so true.
That was your mom would say to you?
No, but it's true. If you're a woman over like 20 and you're not married, they're like.
She's always like, okay, you're straight. Okay.
Does your mom say that to you,
Oh,
really?
she's definitely like, not like, because she would never say it out. My mom is very, very polite and like neat about
can't
how
wait
she
to meet
speaks,
your mom.
but she would never.
Your friend.
She would, my friend, and she's always very like, oh, okay. And then she'll ask me like, so do you want to get married? Like,
Really? Man, so much
and then
pressure
she'll
for
say,
you.
I'll pray about it.
All right. Well, that is a hell of an intro to the story. I learned a lot about Courtney, her mama, her alter ego, her little Kimism, and everything else. But welcome to Black Hollywood Lives this week. We're excited. We got a lot of great topics today. It's been a hell of a week, actually, between the debates and the heat, and just.
I declare
It
it's
is
so
very
hot.
hot.
It's been a lot in the news this week. You know,
it's a lot going on.
we got a lot of topics to talk about. So let's get right into it, because you know.
Linda, listen. So Nick Cannon out here.
Yes, he was.
So I read the headline.
I was waiting for her. That was a weird pause.
We're having our call and response moment.
Okay, I was like, what's
They
going
just
on
weren't
right
on
now?
top of
And I'm
it.
not up on my Nick Cannon gossip, so fill me in, sir.
So Nick Cannon was going around. He was talking about obviously all the political things that are going on this
Because
year.
he's the political pundit I think of when I want to get political news.
For the millennials, he was talking about Black Lives Matter, and basically
He's been very involved in it.
Yeah,
he really was just kind of saying the same thing that everyone says about Black Lives Matter, of we say it versus all lives matter because this group of people feels that they are treated unjust. So within that, he started talking about Hillary and Trump, and he said that he will not be voting this year for the presidential election. He will, however, he does think it's very important for everyone else to go vote, but he will not because he thinks it's a pageant. He doesn't take the candidates seriously, but he will be voting for his local government because he thinks that's important. He thinks local government and focusing your energy there helps grow bigger. And right now, he doesn't want to pay attention to the circus, but he wants everyone else to pay attention to the circus. He just wants everyone to know he won't be paying attention to the circus.
Okay.
I bet Courtney has a lot to say about this. But I would like to just jump in and say, I understand Nick's point, but think about your grandparents and the struggle they went through to get your right
Voting
to
rights.
vote.
Yeah.
To vote, even if you think your vote doesn't matter, and maybe it doesn't, but think about the struggles your ancestors, and not even ancestors, your parents, your grandparents went through, just to secure for us as brown people to be able to walk in there and vote without being killed along the way, and all these things. So that's my reason to honor, the struggle.
Yeah.
Came before us.
Go ahead, little Kim.
Little Kim Stewart.
Little Court.
I'm gonna have a smart attitude about this. Okay, I appreciate his sentiments. I appreciate the sentiment that it is a challenging election in which to vote. However, to say that that somehow the presidential election is not important enough to make a decision because it's pageantry and messy and all of this stuff, to me is nonsense, because the very things that your local officials do are affected by the decisions that the president will make. So don't get me wrong, I'm not thrilled about our choices for president either, and I'm struggling in my own brain with how the person that I know I can't vote for, and then the person that I would probably vote for, still don't feel great about. But in the end, I know just the Supreme Court alone is reason for you to have to vote in the presidential election.
Wait, you mean that this week with Hillary and Bill didn't change your mind?
I mean,
You aren't hashtagging this is I'm with her?
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of this week changed a lot of people's viewpoint about her. It really did.
I have no confusion about Hillary, what she is. I know a lot about Hillary because I was a nerd and I was in middle school when she was in the White House, and I was in, like leadership, and we went to fucking White House
DC.
and like all that shit, and I knew what she did. So I had to study what she did for healthcare. Then I appreciate what she's done and what she hasn't. So I've never been confused about where Hillary came from in terms of her work in community before she became political, so to speak. But I do think there's some problems, and I think where her money comes from is still going to be a problem. But that's not her fault, in my opinion. I think it's the fault of the way we have our system set up, and the fact that the Supreme Court still allows campaign funding to just come
Very
from
true.
anywhere and everywhere as much as you want. So
Right.
I think that in the end, like I said before, to me, at minimum, the fact that somebody has to nominate a Supreme Court judge is enough for it to matter that you should vote.
And
in the
that they're
presidential
stalling
election.
on Obama's choice.
Exactly.
Because
They're not gonna.
They're not gonna-
Right,
Yeah, they're not gonna do
because
anything
if
with
you
that.
don't understand what she's trying to say is like they're going to put in some really, 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 if they win, they're going to put in some super conservative people, you're right, for women's issues and things like that are going to go down
Women's
the drains.
issues, affirmative action
All of
issues,
it, right.
voting rights issues, all of
Equal
those
pay.
things, will get
Reduced.
have
Right.
major issues.
Yeah.
So again, we
Supreme Court.
totally understand that it's a kind of a weird year in terms of voting.
Yeah.
And who's your choice? Because I think, did you watch the DNC? Are you
Yeah.
watching it? My big thing was I hear a lot of Trump bashing last night, which is fine. But you're already talking to the converted. I'd like to hear more about what Hillary is going to do.
Right.
I didn't
Right.
actually hear as much as I would have liked to.
Well, and here's the thing, and I
But
think
that's
that
always hard.
I think that Bill helped her out. Obviously, I think this week, but a lot of people still feel that they don't know who she is and don't know her personality and what she really can deliver.
Well, we'll be talking about that with the DNC highlights.
Okay,
in a little
all right.
bit,
I don't
but
want to get too far ahead.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all
all
I'm gonna
right.
say is, Nick, and for celebrities out there that feel this way, it's probably best you just don't talk about your voting. Because by you saying you're not voting, you had now put the stamp on some young millennials to feel like I don't have to either. And that's not the point, and that's wrong. So
Right.
And at the end of the day, every vote counts. And I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
he knows better
But
than
I'm not
to
gonna.
say.
But here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie and say that several years ago there was a moment where I was like, my vote doesn't count because who they have running
Right.
is shit-tacular. It's a shit show. But
Shit-tacular,
you know,
I like that.
but you have to still exercise your right to vote because my family reminded me there are many people who died to have this right, and you need to exercise that right. So.
By the way, I bet Nick's thrilled you're referring to him as a millennial, isn't he? He's
He's
grown.
not considered a millennial.
He's
Yeah, he's late 30s.
He's a Gen
He's late
X-y.
30s?
Yeah.
Yes, he is, not a millennial.
He's older than me.
He's a grown-up.
Yeah.
He's not a child.
He's a grown-ass
But
man.
by the way,
Millennial
sidebar, and if
mentality.
you didn't catch him in Chirac, I'd say give that movie a go.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah,
of
it was
people,
good.
a lot of people pass that movie over. I think they didn't understand that Spike Lee was doing a take on Lysistrata.
Even though
which
I
is-
said 8 million times.
I know, but I'm just gonna say one more time now that you can watch it on Amazon and DVD and
Yeah.
video.
It's actually
'cause
good.
It's a good
It's really good.
It's a great movie. Yeah.
Okay, well,
I like you did a sermon
Are you
before
taking
that.
us to church?
Wait. Let me get ready.
Somebody needs to
Praise
go
the
to
Lord.
church.
I'm feeling the Holy Ghost.
deep down in Savannah, Georgia, this heat wave done hit a mother real hard.
When that heat wave
You
was
are
so
committed
crazy
to
as
that.
shit.
I know you right now.
I'm about as committed to watching this video, y'all. Did you see this video of this mama on Facebook Live? She done whooped her 16-year-old daughter's ass. Not her ass, her ass.
All of it.
So
Why?
basically,
Why?
her daughter was on
Slutting
Facebook.
it up.
We don't know what the picture was. Apparently, it had something to do with her in a towel and
With her
her
booty.
booty cheeks.
THOT.
Thoughtness.
She was thoughting it.
She was not thoughtful because her mother said, "Boop, YouTube, honey. What? You want to be on Facebook Live? Open up your Facebook page. She opened up her Facebook page, hit stream. I don't know, probably had the little sister or brother carrying
the
it.
camera.
She was like, come down here. Come down here. And for 5 minutes.
Did she make her get her own Switch? You better get me a Switch from the yard.
This bitch had the Switch. It wasn't a Switch. It was a plastic shoehorn.
It was a shoehorn, yeah.
And she slapped the shit out of her. And at first I was like, well, I mean, that sucks that you got this on camera, honey, because that could, you know what I mean? When she dropped the Switch is when I got worried because she punched this bitch in the face. Like, she had some good hits. And I'm using this language because watching that video, I used that language. I was like, bitch.
Wait, do we have the video?
No, we are not playing
We're not
that. That's
playing the
crazy.
video.
I haven't seen it. I don't listen.
No, Google it on your own. Like, honestly, like, I thought about sending the video in, but it was really crazy.
I'm not. Listen, I'm just gonna throw this out. I'm not for hitting because I grew up in a household where that was punishment, and I don't necessarily think it worked in the way that they would like. I also think this woman assumes she's black, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, but I just had to assume
Safe
that.
assumption.
It's also kind of illegal. So did she get in trouble?
Well, so here, she posted something on her daughter's page. She wrote, "I love my daughter with all my heart. Whatever happens after this, oh well. She ain't gonna disrespect no one after this. Lesson learned." Her daughter then wrote, "Well, I love my mother with all my heart, and I know not to put my business out there, and I'll keep it to myself next time." So SVU went in. No charges were filed.
Okay, good.
But obviously, Child Protective Services is now involved in their questioning, but the daughter says she feels safe at home, and the daughter's taking full responsibility for
There's
it.
definitely a certain generation of parents, and it is usually African American parents, and actually Asian parents will hit a child too. You know what I mean?
And other people's
And a
children.
lot- yeah, and other people's children.
You said Asian?
Yeah, like,
And Middle Eastern.
Yeah,
And
I've
right,
actually
it's in
seen
a lot
an
of
Asian woman like hit
cultures
someone
then,
else's kid.
But I personally am glad it's moving out of our culture. What about you, Courtney?
I don't think it need to move out of our culture. I
neither.
just
I'm with you,
believe
Courtney.
no, but I will say that I think that it is good that there is open conversation about alternatives because I don't
Sure.
think it works for every child.
There
I
you
do
go.
think you have to
That's
know
the
your
key.
child and everything and
also-
whatever.
Yeah,
and I'm not condoning like punching your kids
Yeah.
and that.
Oh, no,
kind
not
of thing.
punching, but I do believe that you need to put a little fear in your kid.
Yeah, and I do believe that parents are afraid to do that now at all because it is an issue with CPS and all of that and DFACS calling and whatever. But I had an auntie that popped my cousin with a bat and she stood on the porch and waited for the police to come and said, "Take me away or take him. One of us are gonna die tonight." So I understand it. And what this girl did, which is funny, we just did an after show for AfterBuzz for East Los High, and all these kids in high school run around having sex in the parents' house, and like it's not a big deal. And this girl, she did some very sexual. She was naked essentially
Yes,
on
she
Facebook
was.
with her
Yeah.
boo thing.
I
like,
beat her too.
Hey,
Sorry.
like you're 16 years old, you living in my house? Hell no. Yes, I would have probably beat her with a shoehorn myself. also.
Absolutely.
I just wouldn't have taped it.
I wouldn't have taped it.
I wouldn't have taped it.
But I understand why she
Yeah.
taped it.
For
because
the
it's-
embarrassment
and it's
to do-
where
to-
we live
yeah, it's
right
where we
now.
live right
if
now.
you want
To
to do all of
embarrass her.
this, and this is what, like,
Yeah.
I really hope the mom doesn't get in trouble for it. But I
me
know
too.
that things can come out of that, like other people feeling like, well, if she could do this. But it really is like to think about that. Like our kids right now, like they're out of
wilding
fucking
out,
control.
y'all. They are
It's
And they have
beyond out of control.
They have no fear though. They have no.
That's exactly it.
It is on the parents to set
For
those
sure.
things.
But yeah,
way
but
But timeouts don't work for everybody. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
I have little cousins that the timeout did not work for them. And I got cousins that got slapped a couple times and it worked for them. Like Courtney was saying,
Y'all
I
are
agree
giving
with
me.
you.
I'm just have to go into flashbacks right now because I was hit a fair
I got
amount
hit
by
too.
my white father, by the way, not my black parent as much.
no.
And you were hit too. I didn't. I mean, I'm a sensitive person, and really, it's left me in fight or flight mode for the rest of my life.
Well,
like
see,
I'm
that-
literally like, you're gonna hit me.
That's
You're
fair.
gonna hit me.
But what were you
That's
doing to get
fair.
hit? Like, I
Not,
can't
not a lot.
I can imagine.
I was a pretty
you would have like a
tame kid.
smart
Well,
comeback.
that's what I was saying.
Like you actually corrected him. It wasn't like a smart.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not my
here's the-
fault.
That's why it's good that like some parents need to really know who their kids are.
Yeah.
You putting
Yes.
me in timeout wasn't really gonna
No,
do
not
much.
at all.
But I was done getting whoopings when I was like 10, like, because
Yeah.
I would check myself, like, and I knew,
see.
and at a certain point, like, even though my parents would still say, like, I was known to talk a lot. Like, I was a smart mouth.
I had to have the last
I was
word.
a smart mouth.
Imagine.
I was a smart mouth, but I recognized fairly early on
What that got you,
what that
right.
meant, and that I was not allowed to. So I bit my tongue a whole lot more. Not every
Right,
time,
right.
but I definitely knew how to control myself in front of my parents
I guess
and
my
everybody
thing
else.
is with hitting, it's like I am against it, obviously, but I also feel like if you need to punish a child that way, doing it when the parent is calm, to me is the way to
for
go.
sure.
Instead of the parent being all riled up and in the
Also,
middle of
but I think that's
running
impossible.
and then hitting the
I'm not
child
gonna-
while you're all wound up.
But that's a reaction. It's a natural reaction. I'm probably not gonna. I don't have any children, but I'm probably not gonna spank my child when I'm rational. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm probably gonna spank them
But
when they
that's
piss
not
me
you
off.
need
To consider, then maybe this isn't an instance where you need to spank them. If
Right.
you are not right. My dad was real rational. He just walked his behind back and got the belt and said, "Come
Yep.
here, lay
Well,
down."
that's
right,
true.
but he wasn't in the
Shake
middle
the-
of
shake
like
the
a
drunk.
tantrum.
My dad was never like. I mean, he was angry, but he wasn't like out of control. Like, and you felt like you were whatever. Like, there was never a time where my mom was like, "Oh, hold on, you're doing too much," or I mean, I was like, "Oh my God, it's the worst thing in the world." But like, he wasn't like psycho about it. Like, he literally was like, "Go get the belt." Came, got the belt. Sit, come here.
Right.
No, that sounds actually
Thank-
more the way. I'm
Yeah.
still not for corporal punishment, but in that way, you knew, you saw it coming. There were, you were responsible.
I mean,
for
there was
that
one time
action.
I was jumping on the bed and he just like ran in the room and knocked me.
I mean,
But also,
listen,
this woman uppercut her daughter.
she
Like,
uppercut her.
I'm cool with like
I
a slap. I'm gonna slap
Yeah.
the shit out of my kid.
Yeah.
But like, I was like,
You mean in
know
the
what I
face? Or
Either or. I mean, you know what I mean?
I don't think
Slap-
that-
I've never been slapped or my face has never
I've
been
never.
touched.
My parents
Really?
never
No.
slapped my face,
I was
and I
never
do.
slapped.
I do
Did
think that
she
there's a fine line.
uppercut
The face area. Now, my dad did
sorry,
break a
fight or
broom
flight.
over my back though.
Oh.
In the kitchen, he broke
What
a
did you
broom over my
do?
back. I was had to have the last word. Go figure. And he came back in the kitchen and got mad at me and took the broom. It was a thin wood, the wooden brooms with the, and he hit me on my back
I mean,
and it
that's
broke.
intense.
Now he felt terrible and
Yeah.
and my mom was even like, oh, you may have taken it too far, and he did apologize to me.
We need to buy more.
I mean,
Your spine, all right? All right.
but
I'm sorry.
I will say he sort of stopped spanking me after that because he was just like, you know what, maybe I realized as a man that I shouldn't do certain things
Yo,
with a
that's
child.
deep.
But on the flip side, my sister's totally opposite of me. If you looked at her wrong, she would start crying. Not me. I kind of had to be a
I
little
had an
bit beat.
attitude,
I hate to
yeah.
say it, but I had to be beat a little bit
had
as a
an
kid.
attitude.
You had to instill a little bit of fear in me because I would always
And when I thought
take
people were
it too
stupid,
much.
I'd be like,
Oh, if I thought you were stupid? Oh, absolutely.
I'm still working on that one.
Yeah, I'm still working on that one.
That was the
actually.
problem.
Yeah, that was the
So
problem.
obviously our opinions on corporal punishment are kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
to each his own with your child. Just be careful.
Be
y'all.
careful.
And
Be
probably
careful.
not beat them with objects.
A
hard
broom.
ones.
I mean, here's the thing. like,
Switches, belts.
I
Okay.
moved out at
Switches are okay, it's a good
16
thing.
for
Yeah.
a reason, It wasn't just that. I was living in a super racist area where I was the only black person. I was like, you gonna hit me and I gotta deal with these racists? I'm gone.
It's a wrap.
I
It's
swear to
over
God, I
forever.
hope my stepmother's not watching.
All right. Well,
that's
damn.
But I'm glad.
that.
But I am glad that they're not going to press charges because I do
No,
understand
I
she
do.
was just looking out for the best interest of her child. And when
Yeah.
I see people thoughting it up on Facebook and their children, I do think like I may have buried in a book at that age. I couldn't imagine having my boobie out. Seriously.
Fair needs to
Putting
be
it on a dude and
reinstated.
taking a picture of it and thinking the whole world
They were
needs to
talking
see
about a
it.
5-year-old in here. A 5-year-old they were like, "Oh, we gotta go get her lip gloss." At 5 years old, I don't know. I just felt like that was like we're sexual.
I mean, people think it's cute and blah blah blah, but we sexualize
don't do it.
kids
No.
too
Get
much.
her a ring
and
pop.
too soon.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
even
even
then,
that's
I don't know. That's a little
inappropriate.
inappropriate sometimes.
No,
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't.
Give her some gummy bears.
What is next?
All right, let's just move on. Let's just move on to beatings from beatings.
Courtney, you
well.
like it rough, don't you? A
Oh.
little bit.
Wait, what I just missed?
So Daryl's into wigs. Courtney likes her up.
Oh,
Like we're
shit,
learning
wait.
a lot.
Let's just change the subject for the day. Hold on, I repositioned my chair.
Rachel
to hear
likes
her comment.
soft, passionate sex. It doesn't trigger her PST.
Get out of my bedroom.
Like, can I smack it?
That's true though. I don't like that. When they're like, "Can I hit you?" I'm like, "No, you can't hit me.
Not even,
you
they
can't
can't
hit
even
me."
smack you on the butt.
Maybe a little one.
She got a little. She said it so sweet too. She said maybe a little one. She got a little.
Give me a little patty cake.
So you're not the like pull my hair, smack me on the butt kind
Hair
of girl.
tender-headed. Ow.
She said I'm tender-headed.
Seriously.
Wow.
All right. Moving on. What's our next
I don't
topic?
even know what to move on. I forgot the topics.
What show is this?
Wait, where are we at? Oh, wait, they put the picture up so we can
All
find where our
right,
place
so
was.
we're gonna
Serious
go to a
conversation.
serious conversation
Okay, serious.
and not
All right.
about racial sex life anymore.
Still about beating.
Still about
Yes.
beating and hot messery. So the Freddie Gray cases basically have completely wrapped up because the Marilyn Mosby, who is the district attorney, has dropped the charges for the last 2 people that were possibly going to go on trial because she tried 4 of them and they all got off. So she was like, it's looking like it's not going to happen anyway, so we're going to save our resources and not do that. But the problem is that 5 of the 6 officers that were charged in the death are still suing Miss Mosby in civil court, and so she will still have to continue to deal with that, and it's for like they're suing her for like 8 million different things, including alleged defamation, false arrest, false imprisonment, violation of their constitutional rights, among many others. Basically saying their representative is an attorney by the name of Michael Glass, who basically said that the officers were, quote, humiliated. And our position is that the charges were brought for a reason other than prosecuting criminal conduct. There was political motivation, and the charges were not supported by the evidence. So when he said that quote, I was kind of like, oh, it's kind of looking true that they're honestly, that it was politically motivated and the evidence didn't support what she put all 6 of them up against because 4 of them got off.
Right.
And the evidence did not support conviction. So anyway, that's where we are with Freddie Gray. So nobody will be punished for the death of that man in the back of the van in Baltimore.
Imagine if you're his family right
Yeah,
now.
it just-
I mean, honestly, that's heartbreaking
I
for
can't.
his
It's a really
right.
tough one, and I hate to say this, but I really wish that there was some type of video for that. You know what I mean? Because that's one of those stories that's we just don't know the truth. You know, it's unfortunate that 3 of the 6 officers were African American, and you know. We want to believe that they weren't involved in something injustice like that, but I just can't. I don't know how to. Yeah, I just don't know how I feel about it. I still feel like it's an injustice. I feel like something still should have been done to them.
I think it definitely is an injustice for Freddie Gray, but at the same time, based on our system, there is no real way to prove who is at fault.
Well, and it's
So
also
like,
beneficial for the officers. I mean, that's the way the system's set up.
Yeah,
You know?
but it's unfortunate and sad, but that's basically the end of that. I mean, that's
Love
what
and praise to the great man.
Absolutely.
the family.
But didn't the
and
family
to the
did get
city,
money, though, right?
They
They still got their
from the
money
city
from
of
the city.
Baltimore, and
can they sue for anything else?
possibly, I'm not sure at this point. I mean, I would assume if they've already gotten a settlement from the city that that's sort of where it's gonna.
It's just unfortunate
That's where
all
it's
the way
gonna
around.
end, but.
It doesn't sit well with me, honestly.
It doesn't, but I don't have an answer. Like,
Yeah, I don't have an
what
answer.
should happen?
I mean,
'Cause,
Right.
I mean,
It just should be a wash as far as like if like they're coming after her now.
well, they were gonna do
mean, I
that
get it, but
anyway.
it's just like-
But you know, I mean,
Well, they're trying to protect themselves.
and I mean,
regardless, so I
many
get it.
people said along the way that she was being way too aggressive in the charges that she put them up
Gotcha.
against, and that she was, and that it looked like she was trying to do too much.
Did you feel that way when you were following the case?
I mean, they were up on murder charges, and like it's kind of like, girl, because I think the issue was should they have done like manslaughter
Right.
or
Right.
whatever it was,
I didn't-
and she did. I think she did 2 of them on murder charges, if I remember.
I would have
Yeah,
thought
it's
it
like
was
2 or 3.
manslaughter too. Would have been the charge.
I feel like
to go after.
I'm pretty sure she went for the more aggressive thing,
Gotcha.
and that's why they were like, dude, it definitely wasn't murder. Like, and there's no way you
Well, it
can prove
wasn't
that.
premeditated murder, but was it murder? Yeah, actually. But
mean,
was
we-
it premeditated? Probably not.
We probably need her to be the lawyer for some of these other cases.
Other the
honestly.
cases.
Right, that actually have
Like,
all the more
that's
evidence
where she
to
needs
back
to
it
be.
up.
But either way, good luck, Miss Mosby, because she was like, you know, the young black woman,
Yeah.
district attorney, like a big deal, and it sucks that this is a big blemish sort of
It is.
on what she
Right.
was doing. But in more positive news, we had the DNC started this week. That would be the Democratic National Convention, and it's actually wrapping up as we speak. Ms. Clinton will be probably speaking right now, actually.
Yeah, I think
Don't you wish it had a different name than like abortion
Yeah, abortion
procedure?
procedure.
Like seriously,
Yeah, it kind of threw me off. I can't lie.
Well, technically, if you say it properly, it's not the abortion procedure, because the abortion procedure is DNC. This is DNC.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the inflection.
My bad. All right, so highlights of the week. Obviously, Michelle Obama spoke. She was pretty much first. Like, she's the one that, like, set it off
And
for
how good
everybody.
is she look? She
She
just
looked
looked-
amazing. That blue Christian
she had the blue,
Siriano
the same color as
dress.
your wig right
yeah,
now.
she was wearing
Christian
my wig color
Siriano again?
dress. Yeah, she looked fantastic.
He likes to put
tall
the clothing
sister.
on the black women.
But
Get it,
also, he's
girl.
not afraid of tall women either. Who,
beautiful,
She looked beautiful.
women, and she spoke very eloquently, put many of us in tears.
Yeah.
The quote that everybody was sort of
Who
discussing.
did she copy? What speech did she?
Oh, Melania Trump. No, I'm kidding.
But she gave Melania some great material moving forward. She talked about how the White House was built by slaves, and that's where she sleeps, and she is so overwhelmed by watching her children play on the front yard with the dogs.
Can we go to the Bill O'Reilly?
I was gonna say, I was wondering. I have it in my brain. I was like, I'm not gonna bring his name up, but
No,
you brought
I'm
it up.
sorry.
So
That's the one I didn't put it in there.
I'm
Go for it.
sorry.
But
If
you
you
know
were
what?
trying to avoid it, I
I
apologize.
wasn't trying to avoid it. Like, I just didn't know
But
if I
here's my
wanted to
thing.
give
I
it any
didn't
voice.
think
So
it would
go ahead.
be a controversy. She made a statement that is true, that this house was built by slaves.
Yeah.
And the fact
Right.
that we sleep here as the first family is all she was trying to say. And these conservative white a-holes, like, the people we just mentioned, whose name we don't mention again, basically made some horrible comments about how the slaves were well fed and well taken care of. So what was their problem? And part of the other problem with slaves, they just didn't know how to manage their money. Things like that he said that were highly offensive, but are right in line with Trump. When you have David Dukes, a former KKK leader, running for senator, saying Trump inspired him, that is what is coming out of this Trump campaign.
Right.
And I will say that I think that Bill O'Reilly is actually not that dumb, and
Right.
he completely said that
Truly.
He knew.
to draw attention to
That's what I'm
himself and
saying.
to his
Yeah.
show and to Fox News at this time when everybody else's attention is elsewhere.
Exactly.
Right.
That
I
was
didn't
this-
address it
agree.
on
It's
social
very
media
strategic.
for that same reason,
Yeah.
because
It's
it
very
did seem
strategic.
like you're really trying now. In fact, I have a troll on social media coming at me politically, and finally I just put, oh, it must be so confused. I think you
know
have
you
a
can
crush
mute them.
on me. Yeah, I know, but it's more fun to be like, you clearly have a crush on me, and I know that's really hard for some of you racists to realize it's brown sugar. It's just so
Okay.
appealing to
Sweet
you.
So
honey.
true.
So
I like it when you spoke that to the camera too. You said brown sugar.
So we will stay away from the trolls, but Michelle Obama's speech was super inspiring. We're
inspiring.
gonna miss them so much.
Maybe that's all it is. Maybe that's just what racist people need. Maybe they just need some sex. Colorful sex.
But I do think it's
I mean,
Sex.
most of them have had it or have had it and
or
just
still
won't
have
it.
admit
But just
to
like
it. Hello, slave masters were having sex all the damn time with the black
Exactly.
women.
And just
now in this age, we can expose that though.
But just like some of the biggest people who are shouting out at like anti-gay rights, it turns out they're on
Getting their
Grindr.
dick sucked by-
That's right. They're putting their dicks in a hole. Getting sucked by
Find themselves in
strangers.
airport bathrooms.
Exactly. So that's why I kind
Doing
of
the toe
trolled her
tap.
back.
The toe tap.
they
Toe
suck a
tap.
dick like they playing
Exactly.
Pokemon.
So that's why I do mute them. But I troll back once in a while just because I want them
No,
to
I mean,
know. Like, it
I
rolls off
stay with
my
the
back.
trolls.
It doesn't. It makes no difference to me what you say about me or my politics
I
or this or
love
that.
it.
I really don't care. Are you paying my bills? No.
Yeah.
I love a good troll. So
What else?
Good troll. Well, there were also the mothers of the movement were there and spoke very lovely about Hillary and Hillary's work and what she's done for their families and how they feel about her. And there seems to be a legitimate the commentary was mostly about how there seems to be a real legitimate relationship between Hillary
them.
and those
Yeah.
women like the mom of Sandra Bland, and those women were all there, which was quite lovely. And of course, we had Elizabeth Warren yelling at folks and yelling about Trump, which was nice. Michelle Obama did not mention Trump's name in her
Right.
speech at
She did
all.
not.
Right.
But you obviously knew when she was referring to him. But then after that,
Which was such a class act
it
of her
was
too.
that's why it was
Very
so
classy.
fantastic and
Yeah.
so smart. But then lots of other speeches like Elizabeth Warren and Joe Biden spoke yesterday. They bring up Trump very clearly and
Right.
don't whatever.
Right.
And then we got Bill yesterday.
I didn't see him.
Bill was yesterday. I think it was yesterday.
I
was in
think
the
it was
car.
the day before.
Was it
'cause
I think it's the day before.
I don't really know what day it is. 'Cause
It's
I'm
all the
working this
same
weekend.
nowadays, yeah,
Oh,
this week.
Obama was yesterday.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
okay, that's right. So it was the day before. But people were. The controversy about Bill's speech was that he said "girl" too many times at the top of the speech when he was discussing his wife Hillary and how they met and how he tried to woo her and all of this and sexist feminists are like, oh, he called her a girl too much.
Yeah, but on the flip side, people also said the positive side is that he the way he presented her, people got to know her a little bit more than what she delivers in her speeches. So it's like you can't win.
No.
She was a girl when he met her.
Exactly.
That's what he was
The argument is that she wasn't a girl. She was in college. She was a grown woman. She was at Yale.
I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna
Come on.
I'm gonna say, just like every group goes too far. Like I watch the feminists on Twitter, duke it out, and I really think that some of the mothers of the feminist movement, and I'm not talking about the original one for voting, I'm talking about the one where black and white were joined together in the 60s and 70s, would be appalled at the way you guys are taking some of this stuff.
Right.
Not necessarily what we're talking about, girl. That is actually an important distinction for the future, but should that override the point of his speech?
Yeah.
No, not at all. We're focusing on the girl.
But what about the slang word "girl"? Please, like women say it to other women, and they say the same thing. So what's?
If it weren't her husband, then it's an issue in my brain. Like, it's her husband. He can call her girl. He can call her babe. He can call her boo thing. He can call her whatever she wants. They've been married for 45, however damn many years.
Stood by
even though they live in different houses.
No, someone online pointed out
there is nothing wrong with that.
That is an ideal
Honey, they won't. If she's president, he'll be right up in that one.
I have no idea why that's a big deal. I'm like, oh my God, they're in different houses. Like, please, can I have my own house?
Exactly.
We can be close.
It could be next door. You could even put in one of those walkways.
A breezeway would be
Listen,
really
I'm down with a different house.
Yeah.
I need some space.
I love a house. But
in the course,
you don't believe in a different house?
but also,
No, you my man. We in the same house. You
gonna still see each other?
No.
Don't walkway.
what's the longest relationship you've had?
2 years.
Okay, then.
Okay.
You talk to me.
Talk to me after 5. You can
My
move to the
parents have
next
been together
city
for
over.
36
No, I'm just playing.
years.
I didn't mean that.
Together, live in the same room. My grandparents, 50s.
I mean, it happens.
It does. My parents have been together for almost 40 years, and they've been in the same. And I don't know how they did it because I want to kill people.
First of all, that speech was so good that Bill Clinton actually stands a chance of getting like the BJ he hasn't had in about a decade and a half from her. Seriously, he
not
kicked
from
it
her.
out. No, from her. I mean, he really helped her out there.
Word is he had problems anyway, and that's why.
Oh, snap.
And
we not going to talk about the gossip.
We ain't gonna talk about the other wordism of why
We ain't gonna talk about the gossip.
she wouldn't give him that anyway. But it's okay. We'll talk about that later.
Could you really
anyway.
picture? No.
Okay, can we stop? Okay, well,
stop. 'Cause
finally,
we liked it. We
closed up yesterday with Obama, who gave a brilliant speech and basically said, y'all are stupid if you don't vote for this woman. She's more qualified for this job than anybody in the history of the position. Like, give her this job. She's the best thing ever. And they hugged.
People started booing about Trump. He said, don't boo, vote. And that's super important,
like
Nick
that.
Cannon.
And then what about the little controversy they were saying the moms that when they were delivering their speech had gotten cut off by by Fox or was it?
I don't remember which network it was.
It was Fox News, and they didn't just cut them off. And here's where systemic racism is a problem. Like, if you show the mothers of the movement, right, but Fox News squishes them down to the corner here and puts a Cialis ad on the side, you as a person who's not in the know will go, well, that can't be very important because they put it over there. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And that's a problem with systemic racism. It doesn't seem like overt racism. You know?
And Fox News would fight you and say, no.
We didn't do that on purpose.
We had to pay.
Right.
Well, they would say that this is our audience, and our audience doesn't care about that, which is fairly
That is fairly, I know. I mean, it is their network. You can do what you want. That's the truth.
Right.
But it's just sad that people view that, or even like people who only view MSNBC as news, like both are skewed for a certain direction. So you absolutely have to go research some Noam Chomsky or something like that if you want
watch
like
them
real
all,
news.
read about it, keep moving. But either way, she's gonna get nominated, or she'll give her official speech tonight, which she's probably doing right now as we speak. And it is history in the making, guys, because she's the first woman to be nominated by a major party for president.
Right, not the first woman to run.
Not the first one to run. There's been 3 before, right?
Including a black
Shirley
woman.
Chisholm and Geraldine Ferraro, but isn't there a third one?
I don't know.
Okay. Either way, I know those 2. Anyway, so vote. It's coming.
Yeah.
We'll be hearing a whole lot of nonsense for the next 3 months.
Yes, we will.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna move on to our EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
Well, speaking of this new election and Trump, there are several celebrities that have started a anti-Trump United Against Hate campaign. And some of the African-American celebrities that have joined us have been Carrie Washington, Russell Simmons, Shonda Rhimes, Samuel L. Jackson, and Rashida Jones. And some of the just general market celebrities, Bryan Cranston, Julianne Moore, Neil Patrick Harris, Ryan Murphy, Michael Moore, Mark Ruffalo, Lena Dunham, and America Ferrera. And
So who would you rather hang out with, that or like Antonio Sabato Jr. and Scott Baio, or
Scott
this
Baio.
crew? I'm gonna go for this crew, you guys.
I'm going with this crew.
I was like, that's because at the Republican
Antonio
National
Sabato.
Convention, that's who they dragged out.
Yeah.
Were those two.
Star power.
It made me so sad because I used to love Antonio
me,
Sabato
you-
Jr. in the 90s when he was Jagger
Stop
on
it,
General
did
Hospital.
you?
I was obsessed.
I used to rip up all his shirtless TV guide when he would be in the TV
I'm gonna
guide.
be
My
honest,
grandma would be like, why are they missing
He is a
pages?"
good-looking guy, but he was a guest on Half and Half, and you were a dick.
Oh.
And there you go.
All right, and there you
Never
go.
mind.
Well,
Don't give him-
obviously, you're at the Republican National Convention now.
Exactly.
Which is very surprising, but maybe not surprising anymore. I don't know what
People be
surprises me about
confused,
anybody.
man.
But what do you guys feel about all the celebrities banning against Trump? I mean,
great.
I'm sure that I know the answer to this already, but what do you guys think?
I mean, don't ban against Trump. Just band together and go
vote.
out and
And
make
just
people.
vote.
No, but help people know that they need to vote. Like,
Yeah.
go when they're going out, registering people to vote over the next like month or two for the election. Be there. Like, if you want to, I don't care what you say about Trump, because Trump is going to be Trump regardless,
Right.
and
Right.
he's going to spew what he's going to spew.
That's what I was gonna say,
And
yeah.
there's no confusion about that. The point is that you have to build up the opposition,
Right.
not just worry about what he's doing.
Has a celebrity like Beyonce, who's very, with Lemonade, super getting political, has she said anything? Because I feel like she's one of the powers that could actually get young people to get out there and register and vote. So I hope that she does and will.
Maybe.
She doesn't have to, by the way. I'm not saying she
Of
has to. I'm
course.
not faulting her for not, but I'm just saying these celebrities have just as much cachet as any politician as far as getting people
To come and do something.
People's attention.
Be like, I'm voting at this poll at blah
Right.
blah blah.
Right.
If you're in this district, make sure you come.
That's
like,
right.
Or
I
something
would
like
love-
to get people. I don't know if they're allowed to do that.
Well,
Yeah,
but,
that's
and
good.
she's got to watch out for her own safety and all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
She can't, but something along those lines, just
Yeah.
to get young people, because I have met a lot of young people who are like, I don't know if I'm going to vote. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think this,
I'd be super impressed if they like threw events that are actually registering people to vote, or came on the election day, were like had some kind of event or had something in multiple locations.
That would
it
be
needs to be
everywhere.
mail-in
That's good,
ballot
yeah.
event too.
No,
Yeah, that too.
I hate to bring it up again, but if they made a Pokemon stop at the registrations, you'd get a
It
lot of
wouldn't make
20
them vote. They would just be like,
20 to
Well, that's
30
true. They
year
would just be in
olds.
their faces with their
No,
phones.
if you vote, you get an extra. Come on, y'all can work together. We can make a movement.
By the way, you do know, like, if you're playing Pokemon Go, which sounds fun, I don't have it yet. I'm thinking about it, but just Google CIA and Pokemon Go, and then go.
Girl,
Yeah.
Google
Because
your
really,
phone
it's-
and CIA.
Yeah, no, well, that's true. I mean, it is a weird app, and it's also the kind of app that's a little scary to me because it's like advertising. Like, if you have a gym at a Jamba Juice, and you send you there, you're now going to buy a Jamba Juice. Like, it's weird kind of form of advertising without people who are.
See,
That's
register
true.
to
That's
vote.
true.
Yeah.
That's smart.
But okay, the other thing is with this thing, with all these celebrities banding together against Trump, isn't that in this day and age just more publicity for Trump?
Yeah,
in a
exactly.
positive way.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You're
Well,
banding together
versus
against
why I
Trump
like
as
band
opposed
together to
And what do you
Well,
mean
yeah, well,
banding together? Like, ooh, we all took a picture together and like we've released a statement that we're against hate. Okay, congratulations. Thank God you're against hate. I assume you should be to begin with. Like, do something.
Yeah, not that we're not appreciative.
I appreciate
of
you
this.
saying that you are against what he is saying. I appreciate that greatly. I would appreciate it more if you're actually doing something about it.
Well, here's the thing. The funny thing is like when I was looking at the list, half the people who are banding together against Trump are people that I wouldn't expect to vote for Trump anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
kind of like, okay, I get it, but you know, but I mean, I think certain people, if you have. Neil Patrick Harris, for example, represents a certain community, and then you have Bryan Cranston that represents a certain community. I think that certain people will pay attention to those things, and we know the celebrity is power, so whether that's good or bad, it does weigh in on how people think. So, they just have to
Diddy,
be
where's
more.
the vote or die movement?
Right. Remember that? No, that was dope, though.
It
You know what I
was
mean? Like,
great.
that made me look at things differently when he was doing that in New York City. So, I don't know. We'll see what
Yeah,
this
use your
see where this
powers for
lies.
good, celebrities.
All right, we're going to leave with our last story, which is very positive. A 16-year-old from Compton has become the youngest black pilot to fly in the U.S. His name is Isaiah Cooper, 16 years old. He flew 8,000 miles.
Congratulations.
8,000 miles from California to Maine to Washington to Florida and back
he was
to
in that
Compton,
little bitty
little airplane. And he was in that little bit of plane, and it said that he encountered bad weather and he had some turbulence with the plane, and that he actually had to make some adjustments to make an emergency landing and make some,
That freaks me out.
It really, I'm getting uptight. Just
No. Listen, I don't even fly on the small planes. It makes me mad nervous. I don't fly on small planes. But this kid started a GoFundMe page to raise $45,000 because he wants to fly across the world.
What's the link for his page?
I didn't get the link for his page, but if you go to YouTube or Google, you can find it. His name is Isaiah Cooper. But definitely support this kid. I will not fly with him. I'm sorry.
First
Just
of all,
because if he's flying in a small plane, I'm not going to fly with him.
How inspiring is that?
No, it's a small plane. If
No,
it's
I won't
a
go
big
in
plane.
a small plane. I remember one time back in the day, Nev Campbell was like, come up in a tiny plane with me and this other famous actor and a producer. And I was like, fuck no, that is a plane that's going to fucking crash if I get on there. You can do too many people on TV
I've
shows
seen the
in one
Aaliyah
plane.
story.
Not good.
No.
But that said, I don't actually understand flying, and I'm a fairly bright girl, so I think if you educate yourself and you understand, like I was at a Vanity Fair Oscar party once, and this girl came up to me and I was like, I'm scared of flying. She goes, Dad, come over here and explain to Rachel why she shouldn't be scared of flying. And it was Steven Spielberg who explained to me, or George Lucas who explained to me for a couple hours, like, why I shouldn't be afraid to fly.
Right.
So once it was explained to me, I was like, he's right, it is safer than a car.
Starships
I mean, sure, if you think of the percentages of planes that crash on a daily basis is very minute compared
That's
to
right.
car crashes
Super
that happen
minute.
every day.
Does that
But it takes out more
apply
people.
to these little planes, little one-engine planes, and things like that?
But let's support him because that's
Absolutely.
It's a noble thing, and if you could give $1 million for like a potato salad recipe on GoFundMe, I think you can fund a brother who wants to fly
Just the
around
fact that this
the
kid is smart enough to start this page to get 45,000. I mean, he hasn't reached his
to get
goal,
your
but
pilot license and to do all this stuff
and to be in
train
school
for it
and
and be in
just-
school. So
absolutely.
get it, brother. Do
That's
what you
right.
do.
But to bounce
right.
off it too is, as you're saying the story, you're like 16-year-old boy. I went back to Bill Clinton, girl. And here's why I'm really not mad at Bill Clinton using the word girl, just based off this story. Think about, I remember when Obama was running and he was doing speeches, how many of my black friends were like, it was so empowering for my kids to see a black man as president.
Absolutely.
So now, him using the word girl, to me, would hit a lot of younger girls watching it and almost like kind of connecting it to
You
the
should be on his campaign.
I don't need any letters about me calling that boy a boy, because he's actually a boy.
Yes.
I'm not saying a boy. He's a boy.
well, he is a boy.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. That's inspiring.
Well, you know what? Shout out to Isaiah Cooper. You are doing your thing, and you are inspiration
Compton. You trying to come on the show?
adults,
Let's
to
get him on the
boys,
show.
to girls, whoever. That's keep up doing a good
Stay
fight.
inspired.
Stay
Let's have him
inspired.
come in.
Let's have you
like
come
we
in.
should
Yeah,
do
you in Compton.
I would love to
you
talk
can
to
Yeah,
him.
we should.
Ooh, we would love for you to
Get
come in,
Rachel on a
please.
plane.
Well, Rachel will be by herself because I ain't going on with her.
Humana, yeah.
All right, so that concludes the stories of today. Little Courtney, where can fans find you?
I've never been called little because I've always been enormous.
Oh, we didn't call you little. We said Lil.
Lil.
She's tiny, by the way. She's so tiny and fit.
Hello.
Lil.
You can find me everywhere on social media at Stuart Starlet.
Boom,
Jesse.
y'all can hit me up everywhere. DJ Jesse J.
At Rachel True on Twitter and True Rachel True on Instagram.
All right. At Darryl Christian on Instagram,
my
Twitter,
name.
and Facebook. Thanks for tuning in to Black Hollywood Live. We will see you next week. Bye.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Daryl Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.